They are from Ojar only, and which means suppliers are also from Ojar, and we people, we also belong to Ojar, and we are there to buy vegetables. So vegetables market will become a local market because the buyers are also from there and the sellers are also from there. The area is limited to Ojar only. The vegetable market has become that area of Ojar where the buyers and sellers are reaching or meeting or negotiating for the exchange of that commodity. But sometimes we buy things from America and England also. For those commodities, the area has become international area, international market, bigger area. Buyers are from India and sellers are from America. So the entire area has become the area or the market for those commodities. And it is also not necessary that buyers and sellers should meet face to face. But the contact should be possible between them. It is compulsory that there should be a contact, a negotiation between buyers and sellers. It can be through phone, it can be through emails, it can be through letters, it can be through some other source, but there should be some contact that I have not seen the seller in America, but I am asking him, oh, can you send me a computer? My specifications are these. What will be the price? He is saying yes, these specifications I can have computers of these specifications and the price will be this much. I am saying no, reduce the price, make it this much, I am ready to buy these many quantities. So we are contacting, we are negotiating with each other for computer. Then for market it is necessary that we should have some area, particular area, not a particular place but an area over which the buyers and sellers are there. It is also necessary that there should be some buyers in the market for that commodity. There should be some sellers because without sellers also the exchange will not be possible, buying and selling will not be possible, so market cannot take place. Then there should be some negotiation between buyers and sellers by any medium, and the negotiation should be for the exchange of the commodity, that I want this much quantity and the seller should say that I want that much price. Then only exchange will be possible. He will send the money to him and this person will send goods to him, like that. So exchange should be there. Then commodity for which we are talking, there should be a clearly well-defined commodity. If we are talking the market of pens, it means well-defined commodity is pen. Then we are not talking about vegetables. Then we are not talking about food. We are not talking about computer. When we are talking of market of pen, it means we are talking about this well-defined commodity. When we are talking of the tables, then we are talking of this well-defined commodity table. So we should be clearly mentioning, because it should not be possible that there is a confusion between buyer and seller. I have told him, send me 10. He is saying 10 what? He sent me 10 buffaloes. I have a small house where to keep 10 buffaloes. He said, you said 10, I had buffaloes, I sent 10 buffaloes. I didn't know that you wanted 10 rings or you wanted 10 tables. I didn't know that. You said 10. So it is necessary that we should define properly for what commodity we are talking about here. Whether we are talking about buffaloes, we are talking about tables, we are talking about jewelry, or we are talking about food article, for which we are talking about. Then only exchange will be possible. So in the market it is also necessary that we have to name the commodity. Then only the market will complete. So these are the conditions to be market. Now markets can be of many types in perfect competition also, or in a competitive economy there may be different markets. Here we are seeing the markets on the basis of sellers, from the angle of sellers. There are different markets from the angle of sellers. First is perfect competition. Perfect competition, as the name indicates, there should be lot of competition between the sellers, which means lot of competition will be possible when there are so many sellers. When there are so many sellers, these are the sellers. These are the sellers and they are selling the same product, absolutely homogeneous product. Then only there will be competition. See, competition will be possible amongst you. If we are saying that who gets more mass in commerce, then competition is possible between you. Your competition cannot be with the science students. Their subjects are different. Your subjects are different. They have many practical marks also. You do not have many practical marks. So how your competition is possible with science students? You cannot compete with them. They cannot compete with you. Your subjects are different. Their subjects are different. So if the product is same or homogeneous or absolutely identical, then only the competition is possible. For example, your subjects are the same, so competition is possible. Here also, if those producers who are producing the commodity, their product is the same, absolutely the same, then only they can compete with each other. That I will sell more, I will sell more, and they will try to sell more. Everybody will try to sell more. So that kind of market will be known as perfect competition. So perfect competition is that kind of market where there are large number of sellers and large number of course buyers also. But the most important condition is large number of sellers selling homogeneous product, absolutely same or identical product. And one more condition is there, that every seller has perfect knowledge of the market, what is the price going on, so that they cannot change the price. Everybody has full knowledge of the market, what others are producing. They are also producing a similar product and they are also charging the same price. Then only they can compete with each other, that at this price I will sell this much, I will sell this much. So that kind of market where large number of sellers and buyers are there and all are producing absolutely homogeneous or identical product and they are selling it at the same price, homogeneous price, and everybody has the perfect knowledge of the market, what is going on there, that this kind of market will be known as perfect competition. Now give me the example of such market. What are such things for which all the producers are having absolutely same production, absolutely identical production? क्या ऐसी कोई चीजें हैं जो सारे प्रोड्यूसर्स की बिल्कुल एक जैसी ही क्वालिटी हो, उनकी वैसी ही उनकी क्वांटिटी हो, वैसा ही वो प्राइस रखते हो? ऐसी कोई चीजें बिकती है मार्केट में? नहीं बिकती. एक्चुअली दिस इज इम्प्रैक्टिकल सिचुएशन. ऐसी कोई चीज नहीं होती जिसका कि बिल्कुल एकदम आइडेंटिकल हो जो प्रोडक्ट और सारे प्रोड्यूसर बिल्कुल आइडेंटिकल क्वालिटी वाली, क्वांटिटी वाली, वेट वाली, प्राइस वाली प्रोडक्ट्स बना रहे हैं. इवन वीट, लेकिन वीट वैसे ग्रेन्स उनके लगभग एक जैसे ही होते हैं, फिर भी क्वालिटी में डिफरेंस होता है. Isn't it? The Sihor quality is better quality, Lokwan quality is comparatively inferior quality. So there is a difference. All are used for making chapatis. Lokwan also is used for making chapatis. Sihor is also used for making chapatis. But still there is a difference in taste. So there will be difference in price also. So there is no perfect competition. Those people who are producing Sihor, they will give some other price. Those people who are producing Lokwan, they will give some other price. There is no perfect competition. So in fact, in practical, there is no such market where there is perfect competition. But still, we need it just to see these markets, to differentiate between these markets. We see this. On the basis of this, we can understand these markets. Because of that, we study this. Otherwise, practically, this is an assumable situation. Now, what can be the conditions basically in perfect competition or characteristics of perfect competition? One is large number of sellers. Yeah? One is large number of buyers and sellers. आइडेंटिकल प्रोडक्ट बना रहे हो, large number of buyers and sellers हो. दूसरा homogeneous product. Third, same price. Because homogeneous product is there, everybody has to keep the same price. Why can't they change the price? Why they have to keep the price same? Why cannot they change the price? You all are buyers of my product, and my product is absolutely similar to Seema Madam's product or any other person's product. Absolutely similar. Can't I change the price? Why can't I change the price? But it's okay, but still I will increase the price. Then in my competition, she will also increase the price. We can do that. Why can't we change the price? Homogeneous product है, but still I would love that कि I should increase the price because I will get more profit. Why can't I do that?
You know that we are satisfied from your product and we can stop.
So what? If you are satisfied, you can pay some more price to me, na? I will be happier then. If you are satisfied, you should pay some more price. What is that?
But ma'am, if you increase the price, we can stop.
You can stop purchasing. In fact, why I cannot increase the price or decrease the price? If I increase the price, nobody will come to my shop. Seema Madam is ready to sell the same product at lesser price. People will go to her shop, nobody will come here. मैं दिन भर यहाँ मक्खियाँ मारूँ, कोई मेरी शॉप में नहीं आएगा क्योंकि सेम प्रोडक्ट के लिए when she is charging lesser price, why people should come to my shop? I cannot increase the price. Identical है ना product. And I cannot reduce the price also. Why I cannot reduce the price? Because there is one complicated thing behind it. When we had fixed the price, equilibrium price, we had fixed equilibrium price 3 rupees. We have fixed in last session. Suppose we have fixed 3 rupees as the price in perfect competition. If I reduce the price to 2 rupees, from 3 rupees I make it 2 rupees, then I will have to incur huge losses because here I am getting minimum profit, normal profit, and if I do not get that much profit also, minimum profit also, I will have to quit the market. I will have to go for the production of some other commodity. So that much at least I should get. That is necessary for my remaining in the market. That is called my minimum supply price or opportunity cost, or that is called normal price, normal profit. इतना मुझको मिलना ही चाहिए. ये जो है, अगर मैंने 3 रुपीस का प्राइस रखा हुआ है, इसके अंदर सपोज मेरा 1 रुपी नॉर्मल प्रॉफिट है. वो नॉर्मल प्रॉफिट इस तरह से है कि अगर मैं ये ना प्रोड्यूस करती, सपोज दिस इज पेन, ये मैं 3 रुपीस में बेच रही हूँ, इसमें मेरा 1 रुपए का प्रॉफिट. अब वो 1 रुपए का प्रॉफिट होना ही चाहिए मुझे, क्योंकि अगर मैं फैन बनाती हूँ तो मुझे मिनिमम 1 रुपी एक फैन के ऊपर मिलता है. तो अगर मुझे फैन बनाने में 1 रुपी से कम मिलेगा तो क्या मैं यहाँ रुकूंगी या फैन में चली जाऊंगी? आई विल गो फॉर द प्रोडक्शन ऑफ फैन, क्योंकि वहाँ पे मेरी अपॉर्चुनिटी कॉस्ट या इसको अगर छोड़ करके वो बनाना शुरू करूँ तो देयर आई एम गेटिंग 1 रुपी. तो इट इज बेनिफिशियल फॉर मी टू प्रोड्यूस फैन इंस्टेड ऑफ पेन्स. तो जब एज लॉन्ग एज आई गेट 1 रुपी प्रॉफिट, आई विल रिमेन. When I get less than 1 rupee, I will switch over to next best option. Next best option may be pen or computer or anything else. तो minimum supply price is here 1 rupee. इससे कम पे मैं तैयार नहीं हूँ ये काम करने के लिए. इससे कम मिलता है तो मुझे अगर 90 पैसा मिलता है तो मुझे बेटर है कि I should quit and I should go for any other option. इसलिए I will not tell you. इसलिए I should get 1 rupee profit, which means 2 rupees और factors को दे रही हूँ, 1 rupee को profit दे रही हूँ. It means price should be 3 rupees. If price is less than this, other factors will be paid 2 rupees only. And who will compromise? I will compromise on my profit. My profit will fall. And then I will not find it beneficial to remain here. I will switch over. Because of that, I cannot reduce the price. Are you getting my point? This is very crucial. So, the price is the same for all the purposes. We are not increasing, we are not reducing. It is not in our hands. One more characteristic of this kind of market is
No transport cost.
yes, no transport cost. Why no transport cost? In this we assume that there is no transport cost involved, because if transport cost will be there, then price will change. Here the price will be 3 rupees, but in Bombay, because of the transport cost, the price will become 4 rupees or 5 rupees. Then same price कहाँ रहा? हमारा उनसे कंपटीशन नहीं रहेगा. ओझर का कंपटीशन बॉम्बे वालों से नहीं रहेगा, because price will change. इसलिए हम here we assume that there is no transport cost involved in this. One more thing is there. That is, firm is price taker, not price maker. Firm is price taker means firm cannot fix the price. I cannot fix the price. Price will be fixed by the demand and supply of the whole industry. For example, in the market we are and Lakshmi Madam. We three are producing the same product. तो इंडस्ट्री का जो सप्लाई है वो तीनों मिलकर के करने वाले हैं. जितनी भी सप्लाई है हम तीनों ने की है उसकी पेन्स की, that will be called as supply by industry. You all know that all the firms together will be known as industry. तो इंडस्ट्री की डिमांड और सप्लाई से इक्विलिब्रियम प्राइस फिक्स हुआ जो हमने लास्ट लेसन में किया. तीनों की जो टोटल डिमांड और सप्लाई है हमारी कमोडिटी की उससे ये ₹3 फिक्स हुआ. होल इंडस्ट्री की डिमांड और सप्लाई से ₹3. तो आई हैव टू एक्सेप्ट. माय फर्म हैज टू एक्सेप्ट ₹3. सीमा's firm has to accept ₹3. Lakshmi's firm has to accept ₹3. We cannot change. We are price takers, not the price makers. And we can decide how much production we have to. At this ₹3, how much production? I want to stop here. I want to sell this much quantity. It is in my hand. Seema wants to go further. She can sell this much. But the price will be ₹3. Quantity हमारे हाथ में है. I can sell less, she can sell more, or any other person can sell more. Quantity is in our hands, firm's hand, but price fixation is not individual firm's hands. It is in the hand of industry. Are you getting my point? ये जो प्राइस फिक्स हुआ है पूरी इंडस्ट्री की हमारे पूरे पेन्स की जो डिमांड है सारे मार्केट में उससे और हम तीनों ने मिलकर के जो सप्लाई की है दैट इज इंडस्ट्री सप्लाई उससे फिक्स हुआ और हमको ये एक्सेप्ट करना है. Are you getting my point? So like that the firm is price taker, not the price maker. Then one more thing. No restrictions on the mobility of factors. Factors can move from one place to other. Those people who are working for me, they can go in the form of Seema Madam, they can go in some other. Perfect mobility of the factors. Next is perfect mobility of the factors. Perfect mobility of the factors as well as perfect mobility of the goods. There is no restriction on the mobility of goods also. Why? Because if we are stopping the mobility of the goods, then at one place they will become more expensive, at another place where they are less, they will become more expensive, and at another place where they are more, they will become cheaper. If we are putting restrictions, so there should be perfect mobility. Anything should be going at any place. Then only the price can remain all over the same. In the same way, perfect mobility of the factors of production means all the factors who can be used here, they can be used some at other places also. They can move easily. If they find wages are more there, they will go there. If they find wages are less here, they will go from here to there. If they find here wages are more, they will come back to this place. And because of that, there will always be the price will be always be the same. The cost of the production will be the same. So these are the things which are the characteristics of perfect competition. How will be the MRAR curves in this kind of market? MRAR curves कैसे होते हैं? Parallel to y-axis. Demand curve, MR curve, AR curve are parallel to y-axis. Which means MR means we produce, we sell one additional unit. The revenue from that is called MR. Suppose it is ₹3. We sell next unit, then also MR is how much? ₹3. MR is the same. We sell next unit, then also MR is how much? ₹3 only, so MR is same. Average revenue also when the price is ₹3, average revenue will also be ₹3. So AR, MR, the demand curve will be parallel to y-axis. We have read this in revenue that why MRAR are parallel to OX axis in perfect competition. Is that clear to you? Okay. So it will be like this. Now let's discuss another kind of market. This is another extreme. Monopoly. These were in perfect competition. Now this is another extreme. Perfect competition, large number. And monopoly, only one. Small bidding, only single. This is another extreme. Bilkul opposite. Single seller. So I will leave these characteristics here only so that we can compare. Let's take monopoly. Mono means single, poly means seller, single seller. So when there are in the market there is only one seller of one kind of product, that kind of market is known as monopoly. And monopoly will be there when there is no close substitutes available. For example, if we are talking about table, then only this kind of tables will be produced. No other kind of table will be produced. No plastic tables, no steel tables, no any other kind of table will be produced. No close substitutes. Then this kind of market will be known as monopoly. Can you give me an example of this kind of market?